right. Let's get this up. Just a sec. All right. Hello. I decided to do another stream today. I just want to talk about some kind of hype around the Fantastic Four movie. Also, I got some stuff in the mail that I want to show and kind of put together that I've been waiting for a while, so I'm very excited about that. I got out everything that I have. Well, not everything that I have, because I have like so many boxes back in storage, but make sure my mic is on. It is. I grabbed all the stuff that was readily available about Fantastic Four because I want to talk about some of the books that I have and some of the theories and ideas I have about the movies. And I want to show off some of the omnibuses I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Fantastic Four omnibuses. And the only ones I'm missing are the Jonathan Hickman ones, but well, we'll get into all that. First thing I want to do is assemble, like I said in the title, the bloodiest DC villain, who is Atrocitus. So I got the 4 McFarlane toys. These are 2 of them. Now I took the Atrocitus pieces out already, but this is Deathstorm, who's Firestorm, but a Black Lantern. And then you have Black Lantern Superman. Then you have Black Lantern Batman, who kind of was and wasn't Batman, but you got to read Blackest Night to see what went on with that. And then we have Kyle Rayner, and this had the final piece. And here's Atrocitus here on the back, and it shows you the 4 that you needed to assemble Atrocitus. By the way, I love Kyle Rayner's giant sword. I've been reading the Kyle Rayner compendium, and I've been loving it so far. So I'm starting to become more and more of a Kyle Rayner fan. So I'm happy to have these figures. I'm going to take all these out as well, and I'm going to put them on top of one of my omnibus shelves. But for now, they're in here. So if I switch to my other view here. Okay, here we go. This is all the pieces of Atrocitus. So as I put this together, I'm just going to do a couple of reminders about Atrocitus, like who he is. Atrocitus is from Space Sector 666. So I'm sure they chose that because of the references to, 6 being like the level, the what's it called? Reference to like the devil, So he's from Space Sector 666. And before they had the Green Lanterns, the Guardians of the Universe had something called the Manhunters. And they were basically androids. And they were the previous police force that the Guardians used to police the whole universe. But as androids always do, in all sci-fi everything, they decided that, and again, correct me in the comments if you're watching the VOD or in the chat, but what they ended up doing was deciding that, I believe it was they decided that, the beings themselves were a danger to themselves, something along those lines, but they massacred everybody in Space Sector 666. Only 5 survivors, Atrocitus and 4 other survivors of the entire sector. So that is pretty horrific. And you can see where someone would garner a bunch of rage, or how that would garner a bunch of rage out of the sole survivors of that universe. So after that, Atrocitus and his few followers became, it was their goal to seek revenge on the Guardians of Oa, the Guardians of the Universe, and to, kill them in retribution for all their lost sector. I believe because of that is how I'm not exactly sure how they from there go to kind of discovering the prophecy of the Blackest Night, but somehow him and I'm not getting the shoulders on right here. Him and the other survivors learn about the prophecy of Blackest Night, and that's where Abin Sur then learns about that prophecy from. Abin Sur is the Green Lantern that came before Hal Jordan, the first Silver Age Green Lantern. He's the one that gave Hal Jordan the ring when he crashed on Earth. So Abin Sur learns about the Blackest Night from Atrocitus. And at this point, I think Atrocitus is trapped on his home planet, or on their planet, Ysmalt. Or is that how you say it? It's Ysmault, Ysmalt, something like that. And he learns of the Blackest Night prophecy. He starts to become obsessed with it. And then he's transporting Atrocitus in his ship. And Atrocitus attacks Abin Sur and makes a fatal wound, and then leaps from the ship into the down to Earth. And that is how Abin Sur ends up dying and passing the ring on to Hal Jordan. So Atrocitus is pretty cool because he's tied to the origin of our first earthly Green Lantern, and he's the first Red Lantern. Eventually, during or before the events of Blackest Night, he is the first one to forge a Red Lantern and a red power ring. And he's extremely powerful. He was already powerful before that, but he becomes much more powerful once he gets the red lantern and the red power ring. So that's pretty cool. And here he is. This is pretty awesome. I thought he was going to have a way to hold his lantern. But maybe this was... Hold on a second. Which one did this come out of? Was this not the lantern for...
Take it back.
No, yeah, this must be the lantern for Atrocitus because it was in the Death Storm thing. So yeah, I don't know why, but he can't hold his lantern. Anyway, this thing is pretty cool. Here, I'll switch to the other camera. So that's gonna go on the shelf. I had to get all 4 pieces to build him. And can't hold him straight. There we go. And he looks pretty awesome. Come on, maybe he needs to bend his knees a little bit. Jeez. Standing up so straight. My wife is laughing at me. I love this thing. This is really cool. Okay. Atrocitus, you stand over there. The next one I'm thinking about trying to put together is the monitor. So if we do McFarlane Toys monitor. Yeah, this one right here. Because I have the anti-monitor already. And that just all came as one piece. But the monitor you can put together. There's 4 pieces you have to put together. But I think some of the pieces... Oh, yeah, my wife's going to grab the anti-monitor real quick. And the monitor is just cool to have. The monitor in DC is one of the first 2 beings ever in the creation of the universe. So, yeah, here's the... Here's the anti-monitor. And this is a really cool back showing this George Perez hold on a sec. This George Perez drawing of the anti-monitor and all the heroes going against them. He's a big part of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I have this. So I want it'll be cool to have that and have the monitor. And like I said, it's another one that I have to assemble by getting the 4 other figures and then putting them together. So looking forward to doing that. And then I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh yeah, I'm still reading the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern Compendium. Hold on, coffee break. And I've been loving it. So it's really cool to have. It's really cool to have this Kyle Rayner too, and I love the giant sword. But anyway, on to the main event tonight. I want to talk about Fantastic Four. I pulled out a bunch of my Fantastic Four Silver Age books. And I have Fantastic Four from like number 42 and various issues going all the way up to like the last one is like a 2000s book. and some of them are keys, and then I have all of my Fantastic Four omnibuses, which is, what did I say this was? Maybe 8. I have 8 Fantastic Four omnibuses. I also got this today in the mail. I still have the plastic on it. And this ties into Fantastic Four a little bit because this is Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, which is pretty cool because, you know, the Secret Wars movie is going to be coming out. That's what they're doing with the Avengers. And I kind of dragged my feet on buying the Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman omnibuses. I knew I needed to get these for a long time, and I always just pick something else. If you, I don't know, if you know, just a reminder of what my omnibus collection looks like. Okay, so this is my omnibus collection. So I have I have a lot of books. So I don't know what happened, and this is when we were still moving into this house, so you're gonna see some boxes here and stuff. I don't know what happened to me when it comes to Fantastic Four. They're all down. These are the Fantastic Four ones down here. But I just dragged my feet on buying the Jonathan Hickman ones, and I feel like, and then, you know, you can correct me in a comment if I'm wrong about this. I feel like you should read Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four first, and then Jonathan Hickman's Avengers, which I do have Jonathan Hickman's Avengers, and then Secret Wars, because I think, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some of the stuff from Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four bleeds over into the Avengers, which of course the Avengers sets up Secret Wars, right? That's what his Avengers is, the whole thing that sets up the Secret Wars event. All that to say, I would love to have those Omnis. They're one of the few I don't have in my collection, but I do have 8 other Fantastic Four Omnis. So let me start off by pulling out the omnibuses, and then we're going to look at some of the Silver Age and on issues that I have. All right, this is where it all started. Fantastic Four by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Let's see. So this is like the famous original cover, you know. I actually don't know what this one I haven't read. I've read a lot of the later Fantastic Four stuff. There's a Fantastic Car. So yeah, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott's a great anchor. I'm not gonna go through like a ton of the stuff in the Omnis. I just want to show the very first. This is literally the very first page of any Fantastic Four comic ever. And this is literally the first time the team ever came together and was ever shown in comics. And so I just thought this was pretty cool. And this is all Jack Kirby art. Jack Kirby, you know, is the comics what Stan Lee is the comics, and they're like kind of the, you know, the famous duo. This shows, I just had this in one of my videos recently about Galactus. This shows how they got their powers in this spaceship, right? They were exposed, the Fantastic Four. So we're kind of talking about Fantastic Four today to get ready for the movie. The Fantastic Four were in a rocket ship, and they got exposed to cosmic rays. And you later find out that those cosmic rays was part of imbued them with the power of the power cosmic. The power cosmic is the same thing that Galactus uses to transform his heralds into his heralds. It gives them powers and stuff. So the Fantastic Four gets their powers in the same way that the heralds of Galactus get theirs. And this is just a really, I mean, this is, you know, I love having this stuff in my collection because this is history right here. And I actually have my earliest Fantastic Four book that I have, though, is this one right here. This is Fantastic Four number 42, and let's see, this is Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. I think the reason I got this one was mostly just for the cover. This isn't a key, but it's an early Fantastic Four, and I like that. You know, you have oh, look at that, you even have some of the Inhumans on here. There's Medusa right there, and the only one we're missing. Oh no, but all 4 of them are here. There's Invisible Girl, Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, and the Thing. Now this one, this is a key. This is the first appearance of Maximus, the brother of Black Bolt. Second appearance of Black Bolt. First team appearance of the Alpha Primitives, which are like a slave race created for the Inhumans. And it's the first mention of Galactus in a teaser for Fantastic 448. So Fantastic 448, the issue right after this is the one that's like really famous. And one that I would love to get in my collection. There's two. It's 48 and 49 that are... hold on. Just lost one of my YouTube things here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's 48 and 49. And 49 is the one I want the most because it's that awesome Galactus cover. So it's... Here, I'll pull it up real quick. Uh, 49. Yeah, this one. So this book that I have on the desk right now is literally the issue right before that kind of famous issue. And yeah, it's all those keys, which is pretty cool. So let's look at the next omnibus. Here we go. So this is, and this has the cover, right? And this is the second one, and this has got all the Jack Kirby stuff in it, which is awesome. It's again Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Jack Kirby did Fantastic Four a really long time. He did Fantastic Four for a long time, and he did Eternals. But I think the book that he stayed on the longest was Fantastic Four. Again, like if that's wrong, definitely like correct me. Hold on, this YouTube panel thing isn't working very well. There we go. Oh, there's Doctor Doom. So yeah, I want to talk about Doctor Doom as well. I have a really famous Doctor Doom cover, which is this one right here. This one can go for almost $500 if it's high grade, and then if you get it graded, we're talking even more. So this is a really cool Doctor Doom cover, and it's super early, and it's Jack Kirby, so you really can't go wrong with that. I'm going to talk about Jack Kirby a lot tonight because we're talking about Fantastic Four, and that's what Jack Kirby is really known well for, and I just love Jack Kirby, so I apologize in advance for how much I praise Jack Kirby, but it's just going to happen naturally. But yeah, that's now this is 57, so this is a little bit after the first appearance of Galactus. But here's Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom has a history going all the way back to like college with Mr. Fantastic. It depends on like the timeline, because I know they do that in the Heroes Reborn universe. I think they reference that Doctor Doom was in college with Reed Richards. I think that's part of the main continuity in 616, but he has a history of kind of being competitive with Mr. Fantastic, and on an intellectual level and just in general. Look at this Jack Kirby art, man. This stuff is awesome. Okay, so that's the next one. All of these omnibuses have amazing covers. This is Alex Ross did this one, I think. But yeah, I love this one. I love the cover on this one. And then here's the last one. Oh, I think I just saw the Warlock in there. And this one you've got John Buscema's in there as well, John Romita. So there's some some really cool collaboration in here. Oh look, that's Agatha, right there. Agatha Harkness, early appearance of Agatha Harkness, and there's a Fantastic Car. We did see a Fantastic Car in the Fantastic Four trailer, or a version of it. I think we saw. I'm not sure if it's gonna have like the flying thing that breaks apart into 4 pieces and everything like it is in the comics. I love it. I could look at this art all day. There's Medusa, one of the Inhumans. There's some more Agatha, the Thing. Yeah, I really got to go back and read all this stuff. It's some of the best Silver Age material. Oh, and look at this. I have this book actually. I can pull that out real quick. Actually, I'm not going to pull it out because first we're going to talk about this. Fantastic Four by John Byrne. If you want to start reading Fantastic Four, this is a really great place to start. It is, I think it's a classic Fantastic Four run at this point. I think no one would argue that. There's a lot of really cool first. This is all the issues that make up the Omni. Let's see if it focuses. There we go. And I'm sure there's trade paperbacks of this and stuff like that, so you don't have to get the omnibuses. I'm not sure how hard it is to get the Fantastic Four by John Byrne omnibuses yet, or how hard it is now, I should say. Actually, let me just check that real quick. So I'm trying to type over my book here. It's kind of hard. Yeah, here we go. Let's see, $100. Yeah, they're a little expensive right now. I guess, but you know what? Omnibuses are expensive. So if you're collecting omnibuses already, like you're used to paying those kinds of prices. Sometimes you can check organic price books or in stock trades or what's the other one? I can't remember, but I use organic price books. You can probably get them cheaper there, but sometimes you have to go to. Oh, do I not have the fifth? Oh, I have to get the fifth. Look at that! I just realized. Sorry, wife. I haven't. I don't have this. I don't have the fifth one, and I need that. Oh wait, actually I do. I think it's over there.
Where?
It's right over there. On the left side over I do have that one, and I forgot to pull that out because I didn't have it with my other Fantastic Four books because I couldn't fit it in because this is where my Fantastic Four books are right now, and there's no space for it, so I'm gonna have to like shift my books down. Yeah, but there it is. That's my other Fantastic Four. I just got this one, so I can't wait to read all my Fantastic Four Omnis. But anyway, yeah. Going back to my recommendation, this is like the best place to start reading Fantastic Four because it's a really good run. It's starting to get more modern here. John Byrne writes a lot of this, and he also draws it. Which is why it literally just says John Byrne right here. So he's, extremely talented in terms of a comic book creator. That's why he's one of my favorite comic book creators ever. There's Galactus, who we're going to see in the new movie. And I read this, and it was really good. And it has some really cool stuff. You get some Franklin Richards stuff going on in here, which if you know anything about Franklin Richards, he's like one of the most powerful beings in all of Marvel. That could be its whole own video. You've got... what else goes on here? A lot. So Fantastic Four is all about sci-fi adventures, and that's what you get. You get nicely bottled sci-fi adventures, but at this point in comics, you are starting to get stories that connect to one another and start to be like more like an arc. Like nowadays in comics, stories are it's all like 6-issue arcs or multi-issue arcs. Whereas back in the day, it didn't quite always, be like, it wasn't always like that. Oh, I think we're inside Ego in this. This is almost like what happened in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Look, he's carrying, I don't know, is that a bomb or something? I think they're inside Ego here, the living planet. Yeah. And just look at this John Byrne art. It's really amazing. And look, there's the cover. So there's Galactus, there's Terrax. I think he this is his first appearance, I think, is in here. And when he becomes the Herald of Galactus. So I loved this. And then what's really cool is you have the second one. Right? And you'll notice something about this one. The Thing isn't on the cover of this Fantastic Four book, and that's because She-Hulk takes the Thing's place, because the Thing goes off on his own in this book. So Secret Wars happens, the original Secret Wars, not the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars. and the thing can turn back into a human on like that battle world, or the arena that basically that they all go to in Secret Wars, and he doesn't want to give that up. So he decides to remain there and goes on a whole omnibus worth of adventures, right? By himself. And so someone has to fill the place of the big, strong guy in the Fantastic Four, and that's when you get She-Hulk. Where is it? I have it. Hold on, it's here. Wait. I have the one where She-Hulk. I have the book where She-Hulk joins the Fantastic Four. Oh, it's right here. So there you go. That right there is the issue where She-Hulk joins the Fantastic Four. You can see She-Hulk right there at the bottom, and they're all saying stuff. I'm not sure exactly what they're saying, but that's the beginning of this other omnibus. And then this is, again, John Byrne, beautiful art. This one I haven't read yet, so actually I almost don't want to open this and see spoilers. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing spoilers, but it looks so awesome. Look, there's She-Hulk. I wonder if she breaks the fourth wall while she's on the Fantastic Four. Because look at the things she does. Oh, there's Doom. And then moving on from there. Let's see, thing, Fantastic Four. We'll just throw this in here. This is Mark Waid's Fantastic Four. That's another good place to start if you want to start with the modern stuff. Mark Waid's Fantastic Four is good. It's more modern. So if you're only used to reading modern comics and you're not really into reading Silver Age or Bronze Age stuff, then Mark Waid's a good place to jump in, and it's gonna be it's gonna be modern. The art is more up to date, and the storytelling is better, of course. I always say this about comics, and I just think it's true. I don't think there's anything wrong with because there's so many amazing runs in comics like that come in the Silver Age and the Bronze Age and stuff like that, and then the 90s. But the truth about comic books is, writers and artists have gotten better at writing and drawing comic books. They are better than what they used to be. So even though Chris Claremont has, maybe he has the most iconic run of X-Men that there ever was, Jonathan Hickman, like, you could argue that a lot of writers that came after Chris Claremont were like technically better writers. The stories were more complex and better thought out and stuff like that. That's nothing, no shade against Chris Claremont as a writer. He wrote, I mean, I've read a large portion of Chris Claremont's X-Men, and I've met him a bunch of times, and he's amazing. I'm just saying that the truth is, like, there's more money in comics now. They're making shows about it in movies. The writers and artists that are writing the books now have more like they're better. You're attracting guys like Robert Kirkman, who wrote Invincible and The Walking Dead, and he's an amazing writer, and that kind of writer, back when Stan Lee was writing, would be writing novels. It would be way beneath a writer like that to write comic books. So anyway, that's just my rant about modern comics versus classic comics, but there is something special about reading the classic comics. So here's our Doctor Doom cover that I love. That's probably Jack Kirby's best Doom. I don't know. And then we've got this book. I made a video about this book recently. This is the first appearance of Ronan the Accuser. So Ronan is he's an accuser in the Kree military. What does that mean? So we saw Ronan the Accuser in the Fantastic Four movie, or not Fantastic Four movie, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And Ronan the Accuser, I think he died. Well, Does he die in that Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
Mm,
Anyway, this is his first
no.
appearance, and the accusers are like the judge. They're like judges in Kree society, and he is the supreme accuser or whatever. So he's super high ranking. There's only a couple people that outrank him in the Kree, hierarchy. And this is his first appearance. He's really powerful. This is the Cosmi Rod or something like that. The name of his it looks a lot different in the movie, but that's his weapon that allows him to use energy and stuff like that. It has powers in the comics. It's not like in Guardians of the Galaxy where he has to put like the Power Stone in it. Anyway, that's pretty cool. That's the first appearance of Ronan the Accuser.
You have a comment. I read. Are you getting ready?
Let me see. Reread Claremont X-Men Inferno about 5 or 6 years ago. Oh my god, it was so bad. So many words. Yeah, that's the thing about. That's another thing that changed, right, in comics is that when I'm reading my modern comic books, it's a much faster read. You don't have to. It doesn't. The writer doesn't have to put something in like Wolverine's claws slowly come out of its thing and blah blah. You just draw it, right? Modern writing, there's less of it, right? And more, but still more story. And when you go backwards, when you're going back to Bronze and Silver Age, it's so wordy. It's so wordy, and like I always say that there's something special about reading Silver Age and Bronze Age comics, but you have to be prepared for what it's going to be like. It actually takes me a lot longer to read my Bronze Age comics than it does to read something modern. Like Scott Snyder's Batman from New 52. You can fly through that. But Inferno was a little later for Claremont. So if you read like the beginning of Claremont's run, it's super wordy, but it's so good. Chris Claremont did so many amazing things with the X-Men. I mean, he took Marvel's worst book and turned it into their bestseller. And then he wrote it for like 2 decades. So you have Chris Claremont to thank for like most of what the X-Men are today. Like it all came from his brain. So anyway, yeah, thanks for that comment. I always like getting the feedback and stuff. This is a really cool Fantastic Four cover. This is just a Jack Kirby iconic cover of like kind of the Avengers going against the Fantastic Four. Although Spider-Man's not an Avenger, I don't think Daredevil is at this time. So yeah, that's just a cool cover. Oh yeah, and then let's see what I have here. We talked about this one. Then you got this one right here, which is the is it cover appearance of Galactus and the Silver Surfer. Got to get my camera to focus there. Beautiful, just a beautiful Jack Kirby art. I love the way he draws Galactus. And then we have this one, which is the first appearance of Zor. And it's a robot created by Maximus. But also, this is just a really awesome Jack Kirby cover. You got Black Bolt right there, the Thing, Medusa, Mr. Fantastic. Really cool issue. And then I think this is the first. Is this the first appearance of Agatha? Maybe. Yeah, this is the first appearance of Agatha Harkness. So if me and my wife watched the Agatha All Along show, and I liked it. I thought it was really good. I think they did a great job on Agatha All Along and on WandaVision. Yes, thank you, WandaVision. But yeah, this is her first appearance. This is also the first appearance of Ebony, who's Agatha's cat, who turns into like a demon-like creature, and this is the first mention of the name Franklin Richards. And just to reiterate, Franklin Richards is the son of Sue Storm and Reed Richards. He's a mutant, and he is one of the most powerful beings in all of Marvel. He's like a reality warper. There's like a panel where he's got like a whole galaxy like in his hands or something like that in the comics. So I don't think he's even born yet at this point, though, because he comes a little later. But yeah, this is the first mention of him, which is pretty cool. And then we've got, I love this one. Okay, this is the first appearance of a extremely important Fantastic Four character, and I don't think anyone can guess who I'm talking about. Maybe because she's not that important, but to me she is. This is the first appearance of the Thing's Aunt Petunia. So the Thing is always saying like, "Oh, my Aunt Petunia, blah 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 blah. Oh, she's uglier than my Aunt Petunia on a Tuesday or whatever." He makes references to Aunt Petunia all the time, and the rest of the Fantastic Four like don't believe it's a real person just because of the way he talks about it. Well, she shows up in this book. She actually shows up at the Baxter Tower, and walks in, and she's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Aunt Petunia, or I'm whatever Petunia, the Thing's aunt." And I just think that's awesome. And I know that's like that's a silly thing that makes this a key, but I love that. I love that this is the first appearance of the Thing's Aunt Petunia. I think that's pretty cool. So here's the Thing Jack Kirby cover. I'm trying to remember what was the significance of this one. I think, this is the second appearance of Annihilus. So Annihilus is, here's like a modern version of what Annihilus is like. I have the Annihilus and or Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest omnibuses, and I haven't read Annihilation Conquest yet, but I read Annihilation, one of my favorite Marvel events. And it's kind of crazy because in Annihilation, a lot of characters don't make it. Let's say it that way. Like for an event, like usually, I mean, and things always go back to the status quo in comic books. Like if characters pass, somehow they're brought back. But like the whole Nova Corps is like wiped out, and all these like people that are fighting against the Annihilation wave. So basically, Annihilus comes from the negative zone. In case you're wondering who Annihilus is, because Reed Richards will not stop building freaking portals to the negative zone. I don't know why. He loves to build a portal to the negative zone, even though every single time he does, something comes out of it, or something bad happens to them inside. Anyway, Annihilus comes out of the negative zone. He's got, I forget. He has some weapon that's making him more powerful, and he has just legions, this huge army. And he goes up against Nova and, everybody that Nova can kind of, and Drax and the Nova Corps and anyone that Nova can piece together to fight the army of Annihilus. And so many of them don't make it, and they're really on the retreat up until near the very end. Ronan the Accusers is also involved in the Annihilation event. One of my favorite modern Marvel events, because it's like it really has implications to the rest of the Marvel. If they do, I would love for them to do Annihilus in the MCU. If they do it, I would think that it would come after the Fantastic Four, right? So we're going to get the Fantastic Four in the MCU. So they have the potential to set up Annihilus. Like if they, maybe in the post-credit scene, they'll tease the negative zone or something. If they do that, I would get so excited, because they could do an entire, what do they call it? The things from Marvel, the arcs or whatever. Phase. They could do an entire phase that leads up to Annihilation, and that would be I think that would be amazing cinematically. Let's just hope. Let's all cross our fingers that Marvel is still making movies like that, and they get to do it. Like I hope their movies start doing better, so that we get to see something like that in the movies. Because if their movies keep flopping, we might not get to see that much more in the MCU, which would be a real shame. So go and support those movies. But anyway, yeah, that's Annihilus. It's awesome. Get the Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest omnibuses. They're totally worth it. What else do we have here? So these ones, these go here. Okay. Just gonna show these real quick. This one is, let's see. What's really cool about this one? Cameo. There's a cameo in here of Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, which is pretty cool. They're like drawn in there in an actual panel. Let me see. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee in Fantastic Four 176. Yeah, I think hold on. I think I have it here. Let's see. No, it's not going to show. Hold on. Let's see if it shows it here. I don't know. I can't. I should have pulled the picture up before I started streaming, but yeah, they're in there, which is kind of cool. And then this next one is what is this one again? I think this is this is the first appearance of Herbie. So we saw Herbie in the trailers for the Fantastic Four. He's their little robot. There he is right there. And I don't know. I don't have much to say about. I think so. Someone comment please if I'm right about this. Doesn't I'm trying to remember what the original origin of Ultron is, and I thought that I think he started off. No, was it Hank Pym? I think he started off as a robot for Hank Pym. Yeah, for Ant-Man, I think it was. I was thinking he had some tie to Herbie. I can't remember now, but. I love that we saw Herbie because they're doing a proper Fantastic Four in this movie. So having Herbie in there, it just like re-solidifies how classic they're going with this movie, which makes me so excited. I mean, I that was one of the little things in that trailer where I was like, oh whoa, that's Herbie, that's sick, you know, and it looked good too. And also, by the way, for the record, I think that the Thing looks great in the Fantastic Four movie. Sometimes they compare. I was seeing images comparing the Thing in the new Fantastic Four trailer to the Thing from the movie where Chris Evans played the Human Torch. Two things there. One, the Thing in that movie with the Human Torch with Chris Evans wasn't as comics accurate, and also I think it was more of a costume then, and now it's full CGI. And I think people just have this like, I don't know what it is, but like people love to hate on CGI. And I when I saw the CG of the new Thing, he has the eyebrow and everything just like he does in the comics. It looks it doesn't need to look perfect. This is a comic book movie, you know, and it's orange rocks. I mean, it's not exactly something that CG usually does well, but I thought it looked great. So that's my little TED talk about the new the Thing, and I'm hoping that we get like a lot of Thingisms. Like, I hope he mentions Aunt Petunia and does all kinds of crazy stuff. I got this book because it's the cover of one of the omnibuses that I was just showing earlier, and it's John Byrne. So, I mean, John Byrne's one of the ones that it's such a shame that he's. I mean, it was years ago now that he passed away, but man, it would be awesome to get a John Byrne signature. Oh, this is cool. This is the Gladiator, I think is his name. And this is part of John Byrne's run, and the Gladiator is like basically like Superman. He's not really a Superman ripoff, I wouldn't say, but he does some crazy stuff in here. And actually there's some mention, and I think it's in here that the Gladiator's powers aren't just raw strength, that they're like psionic in nature, because he like lifts a building from its corner, and no matter how strong you are, that wouldn't make sense. The building would break before you could actually lift it from the corner. So I think that was just kind of an interesting insight. Oh, wait. Hold on. Jack Kirby on mission cover. Oh, Byrne is still alive? I thought Byrne passed away. No way. All right, well, that's on my list of signatures to get. Thank you. Here's a John Byrne cover. I don't know why. Maybe I'm confusing John Byrne with someone else. Who am I thinking of? Well, thanks for that.
George Perez.
No, maybe I'm thinking of George Perez. You're right. Yeah, okay. I think I was thinking of George Perez. I don't know how I'd ever get those two confused because I freaking love George Perez. Hold on, I gotta there's my Crisis on Infinite Earths #1 that my wife got me, and it's signed by George Perez. which is awesome. Love having that in my collection. I think John Byrne is one of the ones I don't have in my collection yet. Like I have Chris Claremont, I have Jim Lee, I've got Todd McFarlane. Um, who else are some of the big ones that I have here? I got modern. I have modern guys too, like Daniel Warren Johnson and stuff like that. But John Byrne is like one of my highest priority of signatures to get in my collection now. So uh, moving on. Yeah, this is when the Hulk, the She Hulk, joins the Fantastic Four, which is pretty cool. And then this last one, what is this? I can't remember. Oh, right. This is the first appearance of Morbius, which is kind of cool. Morbius is not a major character in the comics. He was kind of obscure, but I guess they needed someone, maybe he's the most. I don't know that much about Morbius in the comics, okay? I do know that he's not around like for a really long time, but he is a member of the TVA, and I guess it made the most sense for them to choose that character. I think feels like a bigger part of like the MCU because he was in 2 series with Loki. But yeah, this is his first appearance, and I don't think this is the first appearance of the TVA or anything though. Yeah, but that's that. So that's most of my kind of Fantastic Four books that I've like kind of collected. Oh my gosh, I wish I could get my cat on the video right now because she's inside the my cat is inside of this sleeping very very happily right now. But if there are any questions about my collection or omnibuses and stuff like that, like I was kind of showing earlier, I have a large omnibus collection. There it is. The omnis that I don't have in my collection that I don't have the Silver Age Spider-Man, because now a lot of those got reprinted recently. So if I wanted to get the Silver Age Spider-Man omnis, I could probably get them a little easier. Although I know some of them would be, I don't know how many of them were reprinted. I know a handful of them were, and they're up to like 5 or 6 now. The Spider-Man omnis, I think, or at least 5. So I haven't got those in my collection, but I have actually. You can kind of see in this video, I have a lot of Spider-Man omnis. I have most of the other ones, and then I don't have Wolverine, which I know that it's probably painful for some people to hear. I have this huge omnibus collection and I don't have the Wolverine omnis, and that's also one of my wife's favorite characters. But those two, I knew it would take, like, those are big investments to get all those in my collection, and the way I am, I'm like, once I get one, I'm like, okay, I really need to get the whole set. And so I haven't committed to getting those in the collection yet, and I have to go check to see when they've come back in print. But the good thing about omnibuses lately is that they've been reprinting omnis, a lot of them, and they've been coming out with so many new ones. There's like I think I said this yesterday, but there's like there's 6 coming out in March, I think, or something like that, and 3 of them I think I want, and it's just been great to see so many omnibuses, coming out, and I'll never catch up to, I'll never have read every single thing in my collection, but I read my omnis every single day, and I take them all out of the plastic and stuff there, so they're all there to be read, and sometimes I get a new one and I'll just read like the first 4 or 5 issues just to like see if I really like it and get into it, but because it's hard these books are so long, it's hard to stick to one to read it all the way through. But right now I'm reading Invincible, which has been really good. I haven't watched the Invincible show yet on Amazon because I don't want to get ahead of where I am in the comics. I think right now I'm on like the 4th Ultimate Collection of Invincible, so there's 12 Ultimate Collections of Invincible, and I'm on like the fourth one. I think once I get to like the fifth and sixth one, I'll watch the show because then it'll be all stuff that I've already read, and then I'll continue on reading Invincible. But Invincible has been amazing. Robert Kirkman, who's writing Void Rivals and doing the whole Energon universe right now and killing it. And he wrote The Walking Dead, and he wrote Firepower, which is good. I mean, Robert Kirkman is gonna, I think, like if he keeps doing as well as he's doing, he's gonna be remembered as like one of the best comic book writers ever. So yeah. Anyway, Invincible's awesome, and if you want to read Invincible, I've been seeing like, I've been getting pushed the Invincible omnibuses so much recently, and I don't buy them because I have. Baby, could you grab one of those for me?
Invincible?
Yeah, one of the Invincible Ultimate Collections. I have the Ultimate Collections, which, you know, there's 12 of them, and they're the same size as an omnibus, but they're just smaller. So yeah, here's two of them. So there's volume 2 and volume 1, and this is how big they all are, and there's 12 of them. And this is the way I have it collected, and I just don't think I can't decide if the omnibuses are an upgrade from this or if this is the better, you know, format to have them in. I don't know. I guess it would take up less shelf space, I'll tell you that, if I had the omnis, because all of these have extras in them, and like I'd say like a fifth of each book is just extras. And I don't know about you know, anyone who watches this, but I have not looked at extras very much that come in the omnis and everything else like that. I could do without them. Sometimes there's just some cool stuff, but you know, I've never been that into it. I rarely even read the forwards unless it's by like an artist or writer that I like really respect. I don't always read the forwards in my omnibuses, but I'm just happy that I got my Atrocitus that we assembled at the beginning of this video. How long have I been going now, baby?
51.
Okay. Oh my gosh, his leg fell off. But yeah, if you have any questions about omnibuses, any kinds of collected editions, or the movies coming out, or what kind of books I'm collecting and stuff like that, let me know in the comments or in the chat. What else do we have over here? Oh yeah, I talked about this yesterday, but I really want to just point this out again. This is an awesome cover. It's been a while since I've seen a modern cover that I've been like, wow, that's really dope. And this one is one of them. And I haven't even been reading X-Men, but I picked this up because it's dope. Right, baby?
Mm-hmm. You can talk a little bit about those black X-Men.
Oh, actually, I want to show this. I did make a video about this. But I'm going to show it here anyway. This is the first 3 races between Superman and Flash. It's how it goes. Okay, all right. So it's a tie, and then in the last one here, the Flash wins. These books, especially this first one here, can get quite expensive. But the way I collect books, the way I collect my Silver Age books and stuff like that, because I'm mainly a Silver Age collector when it comes to single issues. Me and my wife have been gotten really good at this at cons and at comic book shops and stuff. We hunt for, key issues, even some bigger keys, but we look for them in kind of low grade, because that's the way they're attainable. That's the way that I get them in my collection. And that's the way I got these. And, like I said, this one right here, I think is worth, hundreds. And they're in okay condition. Now, I never buy a book if it has like a huge crease right across the middle. And it's something that is like just, oh yeah. And then here's another one. This is like the 5th race, I think, between Flash and Superman. So these are the first 3 races. And that one's the 5th race, and then I think I have another one in there. But yeah, if it's a really bad scar on the book, I don't buy it because I want them. Like, I have a whole wall of comics over there, And I don't want you to be able to see the blemishes on my books from like standing up here looking at the wall, you know? I want you to have to like get really close in to the books to be able to see uh you know, if there's any problems with them. And that's what satisfies me. Anyway, the Flash is faster than Superman. I don't even know why that's ever a debate. And there's that saying where Superman's like, "Oh, we've raced before," and Flash is like, "Those were for charity, Clark," and then he just smokes him because the Flash is faster. Barry Allen's faster. Barry Allen is not the fastest Flash though. Wally West is the fastest Flash.
And he said that in the race that Flash rebirth.
Oh yeah, he says that. Yeah. Right. He says that the whole thing about those for charity and the Flash rebirth number 2 is when that quote is from, I believe. But yeah, this and you know what? So this is the last room. This room that I'm in currently is like halfway done. We just moved into this house. When did we move in? Maybe it was October, and we've done the rest of the house and we've worked on this room, but we still have a couple shelves to put up in here, and we still have to mount this to the wall. Unfortunately, all my wall space behind me is already full of comic books, so this probably won't be in view of my like studio here when I'm recording stuff, but it is gonna go either right up there or right up there. And this is one of my favorite things in my collection, just because I don't know what gave me this idea, but I saw that. I think it was that I saw this frame on Amazon, and I was like, okay, what 3 books can I put in this frame that would be cool? Like a set of 3 books, and that's what I came up with. The first 3 races between Superman and Flash.
Hey, you're not wearing your shirt.
Oh, and my wife made me a shirt that has that quote on it from when the Flash says, "Those are for charity, Clark."
With those 3.
Yeah, with those 3 with the image of those three books on it, because my wife is freaking amazing. What is that book there, baby? Mm-hmm.
Green Lantern, Superman.
Oh yeah, here's another Superman Green Lantern book. Actually, no, I'm not sure. Is this a key? Is this a Neil Adams cover? It might be.
Oh, 57.
What else do I have? Oh, another book that I just bag and boarded today. I just bag and boarded this one, which is pretty cool, I think. This is Iron Man. What is this? Iron Man 28. And what's really great about this one is that it's a Marie Severin cover, and I'm super into Marie Severin. Can you grab that other Marie Severin over there, baby? That one, yeah, the Thor one. That one. Yeah. So I love Marie Severin. I wish there was more of her out there, to collect. There is a lot, don't get me wrong. And what she has done are usually really sought after books. But I came across this book at my local comic shop, and I looked it up, and it said Marie Severin, and I said, okay, I'm buying that. It's not an expensive book, but this is the Controller, who was featured in he was also featured in the Dan Slott Iron Man run, which I thought was pretty good. And I like early appearances of villains, and I love wacky villains and stuff like that. And then, yeah, this is also Marie Severin. I think this is a little bit later work from her, but love that book. So yeah, I've been really into collecting Marie Severin lately. I have that Silver Surfer and Hulk book too somewhere. All right, but I think we're just about at an hour now. So, Connor was in here. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna do these lives more often. I basically right now I'm just going live, and I'm just talking about comic books for an hour, which is good because I need to get it out of my system anyway, because I would talk my wife's ear off if not. I haven't decided definitively on my schedule for streaming yet. I think I'm going to do like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. But I just want to, show off my collection, talk about upcoming stuff, talk about the books and the omnis that I'm reading, and then just connect with the community any way I can. So If you're watching this in the VOD or whatever, leave a comment. If there's something that you think I should touch on in the next live stream. I just basically I get a cup of coffee and I come in here and talk comics. So thanks, you know, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. Thank you.